Hey there everybody, so we're going to be looking at some PPC games. This is actually live, so we're going to manage to catch draft. This is between Prolific and Project. Didn't pick a very
Your team's turn to ban.
exciting match or map to play. Frog Isle is usually a little bit dry for VODs. But hopefully you can see a little bit of draft, assuming the bans aren't messed up, which it looks like they are. So
They're banning. Cross your fingers,
I'm
one
going to
trick.
assume that's an EV ban from Prolific, which is blue team, Corvus ban from Project, and then an R ban from Prolific again. And then we won't have any idea what the fourth ban is. We can only guess. So, judging by this so far, Eevee's banned because controller. Um, that's that's just a thing that Prolific does. They don't play against Eevee. Yeah, there's the fourth ban that we can't see. So, um, Corvus is just strong. He's he's first pickable on most maps. And Harband is interesting. That's where he's starting to get the more team specific things. This is something that Prolific likes to do. They really like to play off point, and when they can't, they kind of struggle a little bit. At least that's what I've noticed in previous iterations of the team. Um, so Run Frog, Vivian first pick would have been really weird, I think, because this is a map all about snipers, and you don't have to first pick your sniper if you don't care between Strix and Kinessa, which most teams don't, but I don't know if Strix is better on console or something. That might be a reason. So then projects, I mean here you're pretty much you're gonna get the Kinessa for free. So you'd want to be strong in some other area, right? You'd want to prioritize your tank line, which I like. I like the Atlas first pick, or yeah, first rotation because he's really strong. I'm not sure about the Grover because I feel like Grover isn't that priority on this map unless they're going for some ferocity nonsense because they banned a Kinessa or something. So Fernando Vivian, again, this sort of shows that like they want to play slow, but it's a bit weird that they banned an R then because I mean because of Project just first rotation the Nando, then you're in a bit of a rough spot. I mean, you can go term and things, but like you can also go term if they go Inara. So I'm not really sure what the Inara ban does for them, because term and Fernando are both fine on this map. Also explains the Eevee ban a bit more because Strix and Vivian Eevee does well into that. Project looking like they have a super solid draft, and they're going to leave their danger DPS to flex to last, which is usually what you want. You can get a Damba as a main healer, and looks like Khan, which is fine because you're trying to play slow. I wouldn't go anything else other than Khan here. Because if you go like an Ashe or a Rom, then you have those things that want to go in, and the Khan and your DPS don't. Like you don't want to have a Vivian diving. So Khan Vivian, and then for Project, it kind of depends on how they want to play this. I think you're fine to play off point. I think you win point better than they do. Maybe. I don't know. You kind of have options. I think BK would actually be a really nice pick here for them because it does really well into Khan and Vivian. Um, I think you could go for Mave if you're trying to play a bit more divey. You could do. I don't have a list of like the rosters up, so it's hard to think of things. You could go like really safe and go like a Cassie or something, but I think BK is probably the pick here. So, whose draft do I like better? Projects is like the most standard Frog Isle draft you will see. It's like sniper, good danger DPS, off tank, main tank, good throughput support, and then I feel like Prolific Blue they got almost discount versions of everything. Like the sniper matchup is like that's just even. Nando versus Term, I feel like Terminus wins that. Grover and Damba, there's really no difference. And then I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's just the matchup in the offline. Like I feel like you're gonna see. Um, I guess it's Penguin playing off tank. That's interesting. He's usually. I mean, I guess he's a flex DPS player, but he's always played DPS. So also, it's gonna take a while for this to load in because you know there's like title cards, like you have like your loading frames or whatever, but you don't see that in Spectator, so we're gonna have to like go past those and wait for that to happen before we actually get in game. Gives us a bit more time to talk about drafts. See, I like Project just because Atlas BKs can be able to run over Con Vivian, or they should be able to, barring some sort of misplay. Like, Frog Isle is usually just super even drafts. Like, this isn't like a hard win in draft for Project. I just like there's better. Um, so it's mostly just gonna come down to who plays better, who does better rotations, who reacts to things better. Frog Isle is very much a. Do we see the frames? Not for long. Okay. Yeah, so Frog Isle is very much a show me your best, I'll show you my best, and whoever is the better team comes out on top. Like it's very similar to Jag, where it's like you're not gonna get cheesed super heavily. So let's speed up to live. Curious what build it. Yeah, range 5. Okay. Okay, so now we're at live. I can't fast forward anymore. Well, that's a lot of Rezo. Yeah, I agree with the Rezo. Especially if Hero goes Crush, which I doubt he will, but. Alright, so win conditions if you're red. I think both teams just sort of like try playing it slow and see how that goes first round, and then you can adapt later. Like, Prolific just has like a lot of DPS and danger, so probably want to abuse that. Big shield. BK gets hit once. Project just kind of have more space right now. It's an interesting off angle to Frog. Very even right now, right? Strix rotating down main. But King gets a pick. Wait, Ancient on Kinessa. And I don't want to say like, I mean, okay, that was just Kin got a pick. Cool. Nice Poppy Bomb. They should be able to hard zone off this. Yeah, they got this. So, I mean, there's not much to say there. Like, it was super even. Project was slowly winning, I think. And then Kin got a pick. Cool. You know? So now, it'll be interesting to see how they play around this Grover, if they all just decide to stack main super hard or what they do. BK's getting peeled for, but he gets run at. I mean, yeah, so like, Prolific played like really standard, right? You just have, you know, Strix in your main tank, or Strix in your sniper, or your main tank and your sniper in main, and then your offline in the offline, and Domba's somewhere in between there. So, and then BK went by himself and played a bit too aggro, got caught out. Like if you're gonna play a lane by yourself, you gotta play super slow. I think Frog disconnected because he doesn't have ult charge right now, so. I like the full hold from Prolific. It's good because they got to... Usually the issue with full holds on this map is that if you want to fight over here, you have to cross all of this space to get to like this choke. And that's like a really long, like it's a long ways to go. So usually what ends up happening is that you get to like here and then they respawn and they're already back in the fight. So it's really difficult to get a full hold in a good spot, but Prolific got it. So this is going to be really good for them. They should get 3 fights here. Or 3 chances of fights. They should have a fight here, a fight at the corner where the Strix is, and then a fight at the last. They said they're unpausing, and they're also saying that they'd rather be playing on Australian servers than NA servers right now. That's pretty cool. Which, like, understandable. I'm gonna pause the record and I'll unpause when the pause is done. Alright, we just unpaused. Prolific is full holding, so they got this nice setup over here. They're gonna kind of get ran at. He's not running stun, is he? Okay, good. I mean, he's buying time. He's like, okay, I didn't mean to pause. He's buying time, so his team needs to play like really aggro, and they sort of do. I mean, BK kind of just got picked. I'm not sure how Vivian got that. Interesting. Like, you notice how BK took a fight with the Viv, then died, and then Atlas took the fight and had to rewind, then Term took the fight and died. So that's not great. If either of them go at the same time, it's probably a dead Vivian. BK White Peaks main. Project is just kind of staggering. So if you're either team, you're kind of just holding alts here. You can spend something if you're Project and try to get her going, but not with that.
Okay, real talk.
That was actually a really unlucky setback because the offlane from Prolific kind of got split a bit. Like Penguin went down main and Ratatouille. Who is that? That's like Kumu or something. Is I don't know. The Vivian went down danger, so if you see that, then that's punishable because all of a sudden the Vivian doesn't have an off tank protecting her, and you can abuse that. You can just run at the Vivian. So yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Both teams have alts. Like if Project had alts and Prolific didn't, they'd be in spawn right now. Let's back up to live. So if you're Project, you don't really need to change anything. It's sort of reading what Prolific is going to do. In Prolific, blue team. So you've got two things that you can make plays with. You got Connell and you got Domba ult. So it's kind of just going to be how much value they get out of those. So I'm kind of surprised that Project hasn't gone into more Rezo. Because, like, especially on Atlas, right? Like, you could have Rezo 3 at this point. I think. Maybe. I don't know if that's enough. If you didn't buy COD 2. But if you had more Rezo, then you take away their option of going for Domba ult on your Atlas. Because you just kind of live it, use cooldowns, and you're good. Penguin going down main. I wonder what he's doing. So, I mean, that was super. It did go crush, wow. So that was really telegraphed, but, like, now what, right? Like, you missed Connell. Cool. So, like, there's no reason for Project to have done that. I like the rotation from Hero. It's a really good big shield. That was like a unnecessary aggression from Project, and then really good ult by Ballin. Punish the aggression that they didn't need to do, and now they're just gonna walk forward and stagger them. It's like, you see what I mean? Like, that's not like Project had that, right? They had, if you look at how much map control they had like up to here, right? They had up to this much control. And if you have this much control, there's no way that Prolific can ever get to point safely. So you just need to, you can just chill. You don't need to do anything. But instead, they went forward, which is risky, right? Like, if it works, you win the fight, you win the mid. But there's no reason to, right? It's an unnecessary risk. And they got punished for it. Especially pushing into Domba ult. That's a bit weird. Result 2, the con. That's a nice grab, but he has ult. BK isn't in the offlane as much as I'd like. Like, he's kind of looking down main. Strix going to the backline, as Strix does. Misses the... Oh, no, just kidding. That's a nice rotation from him. Biggest issue for me there is that this is the line that Product is holding instead of this line, right, where they're actually like cover and the walls are. So they weren't really fighting at the right choke, so that let the Strix walk down main for free. And also just the BK not being in the right spot. Con, you could look for ult here if you're Con, I think. If you push us in, it's a really value. You get setback. He's gonna need some juice. He's in danger. So, I mean, G-Bunny kind of just left his offline there. Like, that's what should have happened earlier with the Con and the Vivian getting split. That's exactly what should have happened. I'm not sure where BK was either, because I feel like that shouldn't be allowed to happen, right? You have the Atlas and the BK match up into the Con and the Viv, and I feel like that's a pretty fine matchup. especially if you use corners and stuff. So, I mean, that was they didn't hold the right choke, and then their offlane got split up basically. Like I'm not sure what G Bunny was doing if he was trying to like look mid for a second to get some poke, but like that second was all that Prolific needed. So, um, if your project, watch out for the con ult, watch out, like call out where their tanks are. That's probably the biggest thing. Um, look for ults early because you have full comeback, and then if you do get that much map control, then someone, most likely whoever's IGLing, which probably Cuss Cutie, it's usually the support, and I think Cuss has done it for them. So then that person needs to call, hey, we don't need to go any farther. And if you're Prolific, then it's look for con ult. BK dies and con ult hits. I don't really know what to say about that. I didn't see what happened to BK. But like that's fine because now this has to be a soft zone, right? Like unless you get kills here, Project is gonna be able to recontest. You don't have enough cap, so it's probably gonna like be big shield to push in, and then pop ults, right? Offline's getting banished. Kin is gonna get a pick on this. Strix because he was in main for some reason. Like he was in main, but he was like way in main. He wasn't using that corner. And now you've lost your sniper. Like Kin can go to main and just these people are dead. So BK actually dies because he went down main instead of with his off tank, saving Cuskidi. Okay. Yeah, so there's another mistake. Like that's Prolific going for a hard zone. Like they pushed way too far up. Like if you're gonna soft zone, you need to be like holding point pretty much. Or you can push up a little bit, but you don't need to push up much farther than that. So now it's a bit rough for Project, I think, because I'm not sure Grover Heals go too far into danger. Does he have ult? He does, so that's not a big deal. Like you just ult, you keep the pressure going. So I mean, he didn't go for it, which was the right call because G Bunny died at the same time. But I'm not really sure why they switched the tanks there. That's actually interesting to me. I kind of like it. Lets your BK walk up for free. So now we're gonna have we're playing tiny paladins over here. Just an absolute mess over here. Everyone's in this tiny little area. Man, where's BK? Oh, come on. Do they notice? They notice. Okay. Well, he does. Have you let your team know? Okay, they're looking back. They're coming. So now, this person's dead. He's dead. It's just a matter of time. So it's like, these people need to hold W and int just to buy time and hopefully get kills. So they at least trade. So now it's a 4v4. I don't know why Jake Enzi stayed, but Product needed to play super aggro. Taking a 4v4. Who has respawns first? About the same time. Stacking tanks, I don't hate it, as long as you all play together main and hold W really hard. So like, BK kind of just went through main. He got a kill somehow. But it would have been a lot better if he actually followed his turn. Strix gets a kill somehow. Kid and Grover should be fine, yeah. I find it surprising that the project hasn't like committed many ults to this. Like you had time. And Prolific isn't gonna use anything because like even if Project does somehow, you still get another fight first of all, and then you also don't lose here if they do push, so you don't care. Same thing, sort of like Kin's sort of a lot more free to walk up main. I didn't see where BK died. Actually, did he do the same thing where he went through main? Alright, so adaptations. So you can't really use like 5 ults or 4 ults if you're Project, because if you do that, like you don't necessarily guarantee yourself a capture. So how much resolve do the tanks have? They have enough resolve to the point where like I don't think Beak Elt is gonna.
Capture point spawns in 15 seconds.
You're gonna have to wait for mid fight. You can't open up with Beak Elt anymore. What was? I didn't know you could get mine there. That's actually nice. Huh. Anyhow, um, so like again, you're fine taking the slow fight if your project, and then it's how much value do Con and Domball get. So Con's looking for it in the offline. Big Shield doesn't really protect the Con as much. Okay, again, this is the call from project. We have map control. We can chill. But they don't. And Domball, no one's capping. Strix going to the backline, as Strix does. Ancient has to have heard that, right? He no scoped him. Did he not hear the stealth? Like he had ult, right? Like you hear the stealth. You can at least get a TP off. You can maybe ult him. So again, I'm not sure how I feel about the hard zone. Like if con ult hits, they win the game. Oh, they should win the game. Hero and Penguin playing the mind games. I'm surprised he didn't go for it when the Siphon went down. The offlane's kind of free here, yeah, I was gonna say. Interesting, they didn't push him out for some reason. Oh, now he's in a rough spot though. Gus tried to vine up, missed, and just accepted his fate. Okay, this is like really scrappy. What's even going on at this point?
Alright, they're getting hot.
Okay, did he get OT? They did. That doesn't matter, right? Nobody has touched? No. Honestly, that game was like a lot of unnecessary aggression from Project and a lot of... Like, Prolific didn't win that because they played better. They won because Project played worse, you know? I think that not identifying the BK Atlas, I think that's kind of weird. That Big Shield not covering the BK2 too well at the end was a pretty big mistake. Strix being able to walk up main for free. I didn't catch if anyone had Illuminate or not, but anyhow, hopefully that is a decent analysis of some PPC games, some live stuff, some drafting. I mean, drafting was kind of boring because it was Frog Isle, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And also, I'm gonna be doing like more PPC stuff because like I'm only scrimming right now and not doing PCML for a bit, which is like the Paladin Central thing. I'm not doing that for a while because I have work. So if there's any other like specific games or any type of content or any like maybe support POVs you guys would like to see that might be interesting, just like let me know because I've got time. I can 100% make stuff right now. So if there's any specific things, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.